Hi parents, I am here today to talk to you about building good fine motor strength in your child. We get asked that question a lot about how do you help your child with their pencil grip to make sure that they are all ready by the time they get to kindergarten. And it's a very valid, very good question because by the time your child gets to kindergarten, first grade, the way they hold their pencil is so ingrained in their head and it's become habitual that it's a really hard thing to change by that point. So the preschool years are a really good time to go ahead and try to get them holding the pencil properly so they're able to then learn proper letter formation and writing as that develops for them. So I feel that the best way that you can get a proper pencil grip is by starting to build your child's fine motor strength as soon as you can. Our bodies work where we build our strength from our core outward. So as a child is young, they start with the stronger abdominals, and then for the upper body region, it goes to their shoulders, elbows, wrists, and then finally these fingers are going to be the last to catch on here. So if your child is still young, they might still be working on building that strength. If your child is 4 or 5, it should be getting stronger, but by no means does it have to be completely developed yet. You can still help them and help them improve their pencil grip. So how do you go about building their fine motor strength? Interestingly enough, one of the funnest things to do, I think, and doesn't seem like you're helping them with their pencil grip, is to do wheelbarrows with your child. As strange as that sounds, do you remember those where the child will put their hands on the ground and you hold their little feet and then they try to walk like that? You're helping get that core strength and that upper body strength going in their bodies. So when it's time to get down to the fingers, they've got the solid foundation and then they can get to this point where they're improving their finger strength. Another thing where you're going to help their shoulders and their posture and their core strength is an easel, if you happen to have an easel at home. Standing at the easel does engage these muscles up here behind their shoulders or behind up here, and it does help them strengthen the body, getting ready to get those fingers stronger. If you don't have an easel, no big deal. Lots of solutions to that. You can hang up a piece of paper on a wall. You can do, some people have chalk paint. You can paint a chalk wall if you're interested in doing that, if you have a space for that. If you do hang up a piece of paper on the wall and you give your child some kind of writing utensil, I do recommend putting maybe like a plastic tablecloth behind or something, because we all know that that pencil, that crayon, that marker is not necessarily going to stay on the paper. So to protect your home, you might want to hang something behind it first. But it is really beneficial to the child to stand and do writing. While the weather is nice outside, you can also do that outside. If there's a space outside your home where you can hang something up and they can work. Or something that we like to do at school, if you have an old roller paintbrush, get it wet. Let them stand and pretend that they're painting the house, that they're washing the house, they're washing a car. Again, they're engaging these muscles and these strengthen, and that works its way down to the fingers. So those are a couple of ways you can help them build their upper body strength and their core strength. Now to build finger strength. Probably my favorite way is Play-Doh. I love to play with Play-Doh. I find it relaxing, comforting, engaging. It lets out your creative juices, gets those flowing. But all while that's going on, your child is strengthening their fingers. They're squeezing, they're pushing, they're rolling, they're cutting, they're forming, they're creating different shapes. All of that with the resistance of the Play-Doh is strengthening their little bitty fingers. Now, another fun activity to do with Play-Doh that helps them is to bury things in it. You can take letters, toys, whatever you want buried in there, and then the kids have to try to dig it out. Again, using that resistance to build their strength. Similar substances to Play-Doh, wet sand, that can be really hard to push and pull and squeeze. Mud, nice thick mud, get nice and dirty, and that does so much more for you too. Just getting out there and playing in the mud feels really good. Those are some of the more common ways to build fine motor strength. There are so many other things that you're doing on a daily basis that you might not even be thinking about is building their fine motor strength. Among those are, let's see, if you have a squirt bottle, this is a great thing. Just squeeze, and they could try with their other hand too. See if they can build their strength that way. Right now, while the weather is nice, you can go outside, draw things on your driveway, and have them wash them away. You can go out there and write all kinds of letters and say, let's find the letters in your name. And when you find the letters in your name, let's squeeze them away. They're visually scanning then. They're learning their letters and they're building fine motor strength. All really good things. Something I'm sure you all do with your child, puzzles. Puzzles are amazing. They help, again, with visual scanning. They help with problem solving, spatial reasoning, decision making, planning. and, of course, fine motor. We have those puzzles that have the knobs on them that you start with when your child is younger, and they have to grab that knob. They have to have the grab ability there. Then as they get older, they lose the knob, but they still have the individual pieces that fit into their individual slots. But again, they're trying to maneuver that with their fingers. And then, of course, as puzzles grow with your child, they get more intricate and harder to do and harder to piece together. So the child, again, is building up the strength in those fingers. Something else, whether or not you have these on hand at home, I know Ace Hardware sells these if you're interested in clothespins. Just the act of squeezing and releasing. Just that alone is a good place to start. But then as your child gets better at it, you can have them hang things up. Maybe you want to put a piece of rope somewhere and they can hang their artwork up when they're done and change it out every few days. So now they have to coordinate holding the paper with squeezing and holding it on there. It's actually not a very easy activity at all. You can expand that. If you want to write letters down on papers and say, let's find the letters of your name, and then put them in order, so they can do that. You can do it with numbers. You can do it with sorting and ordering things. And just the possibilities are really endless for whatever you're working on with your child. If you have tweezers, also a great thing for squeezing and releasing. If your child likes to play in the bathtub, something I recommend would be kind of a turkey baster. They have to coordinate squeezing the turkey baster, letting the water come up, and releasing it, letting the water out. They're squeezing that resistance again, filling cups in the water. All that kind of good stuff is really good. A favorite, Legos. Legos and any kind of building blocks. When you have to snap them together, pull them apart, coordinate, trying to make it taller, and keeping them all together is not an easy challenge for a little one. As they do get stronger, something that they can try is using a hole punch. These can be tough. It would be hard for a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old even, but maybe a 5-year-old, depending on the hole punch you have. But a fun activity to do with them. We all have toilet paper rolls. We all have paper towel rolls. They're a great way. Just put them in here, put a couple holes in, and then let me put one over here. Now, you can put them all over. To expand the fine motor aspect of it, you can take pipe cleaners if you have them. And the kids can try to thread them. Threading too, trying to get that hand-eye coordination and trying to get the little bit of hole there. And then I can take it over here and do it. And then if I had other holes, I could keep going around. So that's another activity that you can do that you're getting kind of double the fine motor strength building. If you have a colander or a strainer with big holes and your child isn't quite ready for a hole punch, that's another thing you can do. You can take the pipe cleaner, and the child can put it in holes, and then take another pipe cleaner and put it in more holes, and they can create designs, take them out and do it all over again. Something else. Seems kind of simple, seems kind of silly, but it is really effective. If you have masking tape, painter's tape, just take off a strip, put it on a tablecloth that you don't care about, put it on the ground where you don't care, and let your child peel it off. Just trying to pinch it and peel it off, they're building that fine motor strength again. What else we got here? Once you are ready to move on to helping your child actually hold their pencil, some of the best things I can recommend for you there are the type of pencil you're using. I keep saying pencil, but really we're talking about children. Crayons are great. We often use at school the small pencils that you would get when you're golfing or at a miniature golf place. Those are great, but they're still even a little bit long for the children. If you have crayons, take one, break it in half. Now it is so short that your child is almost forced to. They can't use their whole hand. I mean, obviously you're not going to fist that and try to draw, so they're kind of forced to just use their three fingers. They might use two, but you can encourage them to use that third one. Another thing, if you have cotton balls at home and your child is struggling with the idea of just using their first three fingers, you can tell them that they have a task to do. Their job with these two fingers is to hold that cotton ball so it doesn't go anywhere. And now that leaves them with three fingers, and those are the ones that get to hold the pencil, the crayon, the marker. But these two fingers are charged. They have to hold that cotton ball in place. Pom-pom ball, anything like that that you might have. Something else that I have a lot of around my house, binder clips. You can put a binder clip on the end of a pencil, and then it gives you three compartments, one for each finger. You got the outside, the middle, and then that outside. So I'm going to put my thumb out, my first finger in, my second finger, and I've got an at-home pencil grip that automatically puts my fingers in the proper position to hold that pencil that I'm using. Something we learned years back, too, is to help your child figure out how to pick up the pencil properly and orient it, is have them lay it on the table facing them. You can see the point is facing me. And then they have to pinch it. Tell them they're going to use their fingers as pinchers. They pinch it, and then they flip it back. And now it's in the right position. And you can encourage that third finger to come up there as well. Ultimately, there are, of course, pencil grippers, lots and lots of pencil grippers on the market for you to look at and sell. This is what we use at school. The pencil slips into the middle. It's almost like that binder clip again. Then there's a big hole for their thumb and little holes for the first 2 fingers. And of course, my fingers are a little large. They don't quite fit in there. Kids do love these, even if they don't need one and they see a friend using them, they ask for us to put them on their pencil. So you can purchase those, but there's all these other ways you can do it at no cost with things you have around your house. Now, speaking of no cost, a while back, I did see this thing called an incline board. And what it does is it's at an incline. So when your child sits down to write, it actually forces their hand into more of an inclined position. So again, if they try to use their whole fist, it's much harder when they're like this. It's kind of a very awkward position. $40 or $50 for these incline boards, which I was not willing to spend. So I did find a hack on that where you can take binders because they're flat on one side and then they get higher. So I've got 3 here that I've simply taped together, used packing tape. So if I were to put my pencil or my paper on here, when I go to write, and you could clip it on somehow if you need to for your child so it doesn't slide around. I'm holding it up in the air, so it's going to slide around a little bit. When I go to write, my hand is automatically forced into that position. I hope that these were helpful ideas and hacks for you. And if we come up with any more, I'll let you know.